Well, I'm still alive. Been chasing kind of a rabbit hole with my health situation. So I haven't really done much the last couple of months here. So it's time to get back to work. And by getting back to work, it means I'm paying other people to run this thing here and there, make me a little money. So I gotta get stuff that was stolen. I need to get it back. So I had to get some jumper wires because they were stolen, some batteries. This is just a teeny part of wrenches that is stolen, barely anything. And I had to get more nuts. And then I also finally got my linear actuator in, and this is going to be the shifter for the transmission. I have a kind of a high dollar sensor kind of over there. I have a high dollar sensor and a wiper motor to shift the transmission for me, and it doesn't really work that well, but these things were months out, and this is $500, this little box right here. And I get to hook it up with CAN, which this engine controller I put in runs off of CAN. So here's the CAN wires. And the reason why I need a shifter instead of just a push-pull cable is so I can shift it from here, I can shift it from up there, and I can shift it from way back there. So once I get into, I'm not going to install this right away because I want to do a job in a few days, so I just want to get this thing running so it can do some work. And when I do this, I'll also get into the front here. We'll take off this panel and I'll show you the PWM and how all this works. Also, before I get that reservoir, I'm going to move right here because it doesn't work right there, and it's also leaking in it, so I'll do that tomorrow. So put this nice expensive thing back in the truck here. So these got stolen, these 4-aught battery jumpers. 4 of them got stolen. This is terrible. And I'll get my batteries hooked up again. Not gonna start it yet because I need to move the power steering fluid because it's got to be dead empty and leaking. And one more thing is, you see there's that clutch actuator right there. I need to swap that with this one here. I'm going to swap it with this one because this one is wore out and I need that one. I don't really need that one. It still works, it just doesn't work that good. And then I can do my job, and then I can start working on getting the sensors right because the oil pressure don't read for some reason. I think it's a ground problem. So, but did want to give you guys an update, showing you I'm not dead. I'll get more content out, and you'll see more of this beautiful beast. And hopefully I get fixed up with my health problems here, get it so I can stand or sit. Currently I can about 5 minutes. We're going about 3.5 minutes here recording, and I got to lay down again, and then I'll lay down for 10 minutes and I'll get back up. But it's what I got to do. I'm tired of laying around. So alright, so I removed the power steering reservoir from where I mounted it inside. So normally there was a plate here, just like this plate right here, except for the little radiator mount shaft right there came out. The same plate, they just flip-flop it. It's pretty neat. But unfortunately I need a plate like this with the inside mount and like that. Well, this plate going out is going to hit my cab here, and that's not going to work. So I just took the plate off and was going to deal with it later. And I think this hitting the cab kind of actually keeps it, does the mount for it. So now, and this is the O-ring right here that's leaking on me that I'll replace. But now, so what I'm going to do is, I can't, there's a little tab on there. There we go. There's a little tab on there. It's just short of the thing, so I'll move it all the way out like this right here, and probably just weld a little piece of plate right there and bolt it up, and then this hose will reach, because it's that super long hose right there that is draping down. I was gonna have to zip tie. That'll reach for sure. I do not think this hose will reach at all, so we will see. See if I'll have to buy a new hose or not. I'll see what the supply store has for cheapness. It is just a suction hose, so it can be pretty cheap, but yeah, we'll see what they have. And then it is still higher because the power steering pump is probably about right here, so we're still good on that. So, and then, oh man, the sun has been beating up my paint job. This is I might have to redo it on this panel. This panel's not good for some reason. Maybe I opened a new can. That's probably what that is. I opened a new can on right there. It didn't spray very well because it's good everywhere else. So this is what I did about a year ago. So I did it in January, I think. So well, let's take a look here, and I'll see what I can get accomplished. So the bolt hole is a little wide. Made these little tabbies and put them on there, weld them up, and see if I can find the bolts, or if not, they're just little 5/16 bolts. I have some short ones, and we'll see if it'll work. I'm gonna just go ahead and weld these kind of like this, and if I have to bigger the hole, I might just have to bigger the hole. Alright, I got that installed finally. It is day 3 of this project, so this O-ring was completely gone. I should have showed you, but oh well, next time. New hose. It's a $150 hose. So, and then this hose is actually not that one that dips down. That's the return to the pressure line off the pump, so I'll have to tie that up. And so I'm gonna go check some fluids here. I'll show you my oil dipstick. Oh man, yeah, I need to get a new dipstick. This is why I'm always scared of water. So yeah, there's condensation and stuff on the in the oil, and yeah, we'll have to go back at it, go all the way in. Looks like I do need to add some oil into this thing. One of the reasons I like Cummins is because they don't really use that much oil, and they're clean. When you change the oil, that you have a good engine, they stay clean. Let's put that in there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add some oil. You never know. This is a good place where I got the rig, but you never know if someone decided to pull the plug and drain all the oil out for me, you know, with the luck. So I'm going to check the oil and the transmission, and then I'll fire this thing back up. Alrighty, so I got engine oils checked. I didn't check the transmission because I'll check it when it starts. If this hose starts shaking, then we know it's low, and I'll start. And I think I ran myself out of 1540, so I'll just have to shut it off and go get some. Yeah, I need some anyway. So, and the battery's on. It's got a good engine oil. I do not like this curve. Let's see if I can capture it. Come on, baby. Yeah, there we go. See how it curves up, and that level's about right here, so I can have air trapped in there. So I'll have to make sure this thing actually works, but the level of the fluid is about right here. So we'll mess with that more later. And I ran it pretty dry last time because it was leaking down the road and I was hurting. So I'll have to turn the tires, and that's something I'll mess with later. So, but let's go ahead. This thing, last time I started this thing was on the video when I drove. And so let's see how she goes. Let's turn the key on. Still got the remote starter. So the plans with this remote starter, once I get the actual starting mechanism working up here, I will hide this remote starter and a switch like under here for failure, because if this wires get broken, the CAN wires, which I'm going to clean this up and wrap them anyways, if the CAN wires fail, the whole system goes down and it can be very expensive. So what I can do, if you're over the hole, what I can do is flip a switch that turns it from this button to turning the ECM on to a regular button, and then you go over here and you unhook the shifter and you just shift it manually, and you can finish the job while you're waiting on a mechanic instead of burning up $265 an hour plus your employees and everything. So alrighty, come on baby, it's a little cold. Let's see here, it's probably 50, 60 degrees. So this is Cummins though, this is a beast. So the fuel line, the fuel tank I believe has a problem in it where it's going to drain back fuel. So I did put a fuel primer fitting in here right there to prime the fuel lines, but I don't have my fuel primer rigged up, and I got another tank to replace this one. I just I'm not taking the time to put it in. So we'll try a few more times here. It should start because it sat for quite a while and still did fire up. Okay. Not liking that at all. I wonder if I should pull a fuel filter and fill it and see if it's got fuel on it. We'll go one more time and then I'll hop in there and pull the fuel filter in. Alright, let's go. Love it, love it, love it. Love this thing. Let's see what the power steering is doing here. Pretty damn low. Alrighty, so I'm just sitting here resting. This is my life right now. So, but I am low on transmission fluid, so I did shut it off. But before I did, I turned the tires all the way over and all the way over, and revved the motor up. And so a quart and a half filled it back up. That is quite the small tank for this system, with all the volume in the lines and hoses and stuff. So, but it is a tank I already have, and I did buy just a new hose for it, so something I want to use. And so now I get to I'm gonna go take a look over the small tools, and because it's a really big bummer, they stole like these little tubs, like can cleaner tubs, and they have a bunch of small stuff in there, and it's hard to know what's really in there. And there's just like a lot of handy things, and I don't want to be stuck without them. So I got my friend coming over. We're gonna go take a look over and go pick up some stuff we need, and go get some oil. And not done with this video yet. I'll bring it back, and when we start her back up and get the transmission filled up and everything. So, well, we're now on day 4 of piddling on this thing to get it ready, and then I am now in my pickup. And that's a great thing. This thing is way more comfortable to drive. It's also automatic. And so the injector harness was, some of the wires on injector number 2 were shot. And if I'm able to, I'll stick a picture in there. But I was able to fix it. This truck has been down for about quite a while because I just haven't been able to work on it. So now last thing is that little handle. Use that little handle right there. There's also one on the box back there, right by that red fuel pump. I'm going to switch the handles around because the one in the back is wore out, and that's the one we use the most. And it actuates that clutch. The handle over here actuates that clutch. So that's the sand line drum. We don't use it very much. And that's the tubing drum, and we use that all the time. So I'm in pretty good spirits today, and we'll get this thing done. So this is a clutch handle, the actuator, and you see it says clutch, and then it says increase. So you can get this in a variety of styles and applications, but they all basically do the same thing. So back here, this is the increase part of it, and this hooks to the air throttle. So as you go further up, it gets bigger and increases the throttle. And then on the inside here, right in here, is the clutch part. So let me actuate this. There we go. Oh, that's... So if you can see it, right there on the flat side, that actuates the clutch. See the little shiny right there? Right there. Right there. So what's going on with this one, see, it's gotten a lot of use and no one ever greases these or whatever. So what's going on with this one is, I don't know if the shaft has had some movement this way, or maybe this nub right here is worn down, or the roller that's up in the box is maybe worn down as well. But what's going on is it does throttle just fine, but it won't actuate the clutch. And so I thought about, putting like a bushing in right here, because you can kick the clutch, you can take this nut off, kick the clutch in and push that rod in, and it will actuate the air. So I'll stand up here. And here's the other end of it. And so this is the clutch actuator right here. So when this moves, you can see that little piston right there. When this moves this way, pushing this way, actuates the clutch. And then this just pushes on this piston right here, that actuates the throttle. So on the back side, you have the air input, which is this one, and then I'm pretty sure this one goes to the clutch, and then this one goes to the throttle because of the shuttle valve, which is also, I just have an air switch right here. This is full throttle, no full throttle, and I have a flow valve here, which is the incorrect valve. I'm going to replace it with the regulator, because when you put full throttle on, you're doing it for the hydraulics, and the hydraulic pump is a little too fast. So I'm going to turn it down, and I thought this was a regulator, a micro regulator. No, it's a flow regulator. Oh well. So I will turn it down, and that way, instead of going to 2200 RPM, it'll go like 19 or something like that, to slow the hydraulics down a little bit when we need them. So but that's why it's got a shuttle valve here, and then there's also 2 more shuttle valves, one for the sand line and one for the cab. So this is the one from the sand line drum, and it has got a friction brake on it right there. This one has a spring, and that is the difference. I think, yeah, this is, the number's gone, but it's HE2, I think, yeah, it's just X, I believe, or X something, I can't remember exactly. But this one is FX. That's a difference. And so basically these things are all the same. You just kind of have some different accessories, different uses and stuff like that. So the thing you got to remember about this one is when you're pulling, you have to shut it down. Well, I think it's, yeah, it'd be down. No, it's up for mine. And on this one, when you let go, it shuts down. So it's just something you gotta remember when you're pulling it. So it's better than not working. And these things are $1,700 right now. So which I'm gonna get one coming, though I can throw this one back on the sand line, because I do want the let go model. If you have a inexperienced operator and something happens and they panic, they're just going to let go and you want it to shut down. This one, it kind of takes 5 minutes to make a pull, so it's good to walk around up there on the catwalk, still arms away from the brake handle and the clutch, but that way you can keep your body moving and look at stuff if you have to, yell at people, whatever you need to do. There we go. Kicking in every time now, and that's the throttle right there. And then see how it releases when you let go. So it's not this, it's actually the valve body that's bad. So this is the valve body from the sand line up there. This and the front is the same, because you can just loosen these three top bolts off up here and swap them out. But I don't know why, but when I put that one up there, works just fine. So whatever, I'm gonna get a spare and I'll change it when I got time. Now the only thing left is to try to put this regulator in right there. Well, day 5 of fucking around here, and finally got the rig out, pulled a well. So, pretty happy to get some things done finally. Didn't video it because I had 2 guys that had full-time jobs. I didn't want any chance of them getting their bosses getting wind, because people are petty out here. So, I think that'll do it all for this one, and I'll catch you guys next time. Well, I think I'm going to end the video here. I keep having little small updates and little things I keep doing. To show you what I've been dealing with, this is how I've been driving. I got to fold the seat up and everything. And I'm just sitting here outside horrible freight, because I got to take back a hammer that broke with one strike, and then I got to buy a 20-ton jack. Cause yeah, that's what got stolen. Also got stolen out of the trucks. So yeah, always a fun time. But just to also give you an update on my back, I'm going to get a shot in my back, and I think that'll help a lot, put me back to work. So, and that'll help me get content out again, so I won't be so long between videos. So that's all for this one. I'm doing fine, even though I can't do anything, and I'll make it because I got no other choice. I'll catch you next time.